Hey guys, we're Lil and Jake, and this is our 2023 Titanium Unbound 15-foot caravan.
We are going to show you everything there is to know about this caravan. Jake's going to run you through the whole outside, from the battery setup to the solar panels to every little bit of storage that we've got attached to this caravan, and then I'm going to take you fully through the inside and everything there is to know.
Let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so we're going to start at the front of the caravan here and then work our way around to the back. Bringing up the front of the caravan, we have our DO35 hitch here. This is the first time that I've ever used a DO35, and it actually goes on really well and seems to be very solid on the cast. Really happy with that. Our last one was a 40mm ball, just like your normal tow ball sort of one. It did have that 360-degree rotation on it, but it used to clunk backwards and forwards and it was really hard to get off. So this is a definite improvement. We have a lot of cables up here. Comes with 2 cameras on the back, so they're safety Dave cameras, and it came with a monitor that goes in place of your rear vision mirror. That's been a great improvement, being able to see what's behind the caravan. 12-pin trailer plug and just your usual 12-volt connection to the car to charge the batteries. There's also these 2 spare ones here. So one is a solar input for an extra panel like a blanket or something, and then the other is an output for if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe put an extra fridge, like run a fridge or put it onto your car or something. And also the RV electronics breakaway thing. Haven't had to use that yet, and hopefully won't. So we just have like the center mounted jockey wheel here. Seems to work pretty well. Just an ALKO one. And moving on around here, we have our rock stopper net. I don't know exactly what you call them, but it's just basically a stone guard. We do have a little bit of a tear in this one already, but I have a spare net to put on. I just thought I'd leave this one on so that we'll definitely get peppered with stones. Then I can replace it later once it's ruined. I didn't know, but these are just Velcroed on, so you can just buy a new replacement and slip it on and off. Learning new things every day. So just behind the stone guard here, we have 2 9-kilo gas bottles and then a diesel tank at the front for the diesel heater. Lots of these boxes, and pretty much everything is made like in-house with titanium, and it's all been like laser cut with Wolf, which is their like fabrication brand. It's really nice seeing like all the wicked laser cut and like attention to detail. It really sets it off. So in this box at the front here, we have our Weber on a slide, and on a specific made Weber slide as well, which is pretty nifty. It's not that tight actually. Pretty good little spot, and it's nice that the Weber can just like tuck away and have its own little nook. There's a drawer up here. We've only had this van for about a week, so I haven't really figured out exactly where I'm putting stuff, but I've sort of put some barbecue things up here and like a jack and stuff like that. The van came with a bottle jack. That's still there in plastic. Hopefully I don't have to use it soon. And then there's this big back section here, which we're keeping our table and chairs just through there. And then on the other side, I've got boat stuff, but I'll show you that later. Steady light up here, which they call the barbecue light, which would go down onto your Weber when you're cooking. And then in here, in the tunnel boot, we have the optioned outdoor kitchen. So you pull this little lever here, which is a bottle opener. And then out on the slides comes an outdoor kitchen with a Dometic 2-burner gas stove. You do have to hook your gas and the hot water and cold water up underneath, and then put a hose or like a bucket or something to get rid of the grey water, but it's pretty handy and it seems to go backwards and forwards really nice. So nice to have somewhere to cook out of the van. So that's something that we'll be using a lot. I also just keep like my fishing rods and spear gun and stuff up the side there. I'd like to get some like little fishing rod holders and stuff and put them up through there. I think that'd be a nice addition. So before we get too far around this van, I thought I'd talk about the suspension. It has the Cruisemaster ATX suspension, obviously airbags, and then it has the Cruisemaster remote reservoir shocks on it. Looks great. We haven't hit too many corrugations yet to sort of really give it a test, but it seems to work fantastic on the small little bits of gravel road that we've already done. It's obviously a very high-end suspension, so I'm looking forward to putting it through its tests, and I really like the look of it. And then it's also paired with like a set of drum brakes, obviously electric. And I didn't realize how well they worked until we hooked this thing up, and our old van mustn't have really worked at all, because this thing really pulls us up. And then while we're under here talking about the suspension as well, it's obviously got the 4 stabilizer legs, which are that Aluma brand. So continuing with underneath, it's got that S&M chassis on it. The whole thing's powder coated black, looks super strong, and then as the color, it makes it look really, really sleek at the front. I really enjoy the fact that it's powder coated black and not just a normal sort of hot dip gout. I think it really gives the van a nice dark look, which, as we've talked about before on this channel, I like things to be aesthetically pleasing. So we just have just the normal caravan awning. It's just like the Aussie Traveller one, just retractable. It says Sunburst Eclipse on it. It's really, really nice to use, very smooth. We've got a step here, retractable step with a light inbuilt. That's great. Light here, handle. Now getting through to one of my favourite parts about this van is where the Cruise Master control panel is. So in here we have our Cruise Master suspension panel. So I actually have this off. So this is where you control everything for the ATX airbag suspension. So I've just got this little wireless remote, just like a key fob on me, and then just with the flick of a button, I can pick the van up and down, which I think is pretty cool. So this suspension's super handy for like leveling your caravan when you get to site. You don't have to use leveling chocks or anything. You can just come up, maybe this side's a little bit higher, so you just push the button and it's over. It's made leveling our caravan an absolute breeze. It also seems to ride amazing. We set this up at the factory on our ride height. Titanium went through all that with us. So I have my set pressures that I have, and then when I pull up to camp, I can change them to whatever I want, and then I just move them back to where they need to be before we leave, and we're ready to go. We also have another switch in here which has the rock lights, so it has steady rock lights the whole way around, disco light, and just a few 12 volt outlets and an outlet for the TV and stuff in here as well. Also with a clip for the TV, so you can pull your bracket out here and watch TV outside. So here we have this drop down table as well, which is like really good for making lunch on the side of the road and just somewhere to put stuff without having to get our big table out and set it all up. So we'll move around to the back of the van now. Now this is my favorite part about the van. The way that it looks back here is amazing, I think. Titanium have really knocked it out of the park with their rear bar and that like signature wing. It just looks sick. And you can see all the laser cut little wolf symbols in it, which I think look really good. At the back here we have tail lights which match our ute, just sick. Jerry can holders. These are empty at the moment if anyone's worried about fuel storage. If I'm not mistaken, in certain states you may or may not be allowed to carry fuel on the back of your caravan, but they're empty. Method wheels. So I didn't get to this before when I went through. The caravan has Method off-road race wheels, which are, as everyone knows, a very high quality wheel, and they look wicked. Max Trek Mud Track tires, they seem not too bad. The Mud Tracks are a 3-ply sidewall, which is pretty much what I would deem almost a necessity when you're traveling Australia, especially when you're running like really low pressures and you have that sidewall bagged out, which is great. So that means that we don't have to upgrade these because they're already a really good tire. And these are the same stud pattern, same offset and same size tire as what we're running on the car, so it's all interchangeable, which makes it very comfortable for us. Up the top as well, we have the Safety Dave cameras, like I said before. There's a little steady light bar built into that, which is sick. Goes orange and white. Orange keeps the bugs away, as people know. We have this built-in drawer here. So I'm just keeping my hoses and stuff like that. I put the jockey wheel in here. I haven't really figured out what I'm gonna do. I'm running 2 hoses at the moment because we got a new one with the van and I wanted to keep the old one just because the new one was only 10 meters. Just trying to sort everything out in here, but this drawer is very, very handy. Wood box here, came with wood in it. It's a really nice feature to have on your caravan, as most people do when they're camping, you have a fire, so it's nice to have a good place to put wood, because we haven't really had that before, so we've never really carried wood with us. Now we have the ability, I reckon we will. Another jerry can holder here, and also another steady light. You may notice in the caravan that we have a fair few of these little access panels. That's just to get to the washing machine inside, and there's one around the other side so that you can get to the shower as well. They look really neat actually. Coming around here we have our hot water heater, and if I'm not mistaken it's about a 25 litre tank, just a gas one. And then our cassette, Thetford cassette. What I really like about this is that this holder is not the Thetford one. On our old caravan, it was just using the standard Thetford one that it came, and it filled up with lots and lots of dust. So this has this really nice rubber seal on it that hopefully keeps all the dust out. We also have underneath here our water fill up point. So there's two tanks underneath there. I know one's definitely 85 litres. We have an 85 litre grey tank, and then we have another one at the front which I was told was 85 litres, but it's definitely a lot bigger, but I just haven't got around to measuring it yet. Now this is my favourite part, as it probably is with a lot of people. So this is where all the electronics are. This is the back of the fridge inside. So I'll have to get to this. Oh. Got to jump a bit. So here we have our Enerdrive system. Up the top you can see as well the compressor for the fridge. All of this is built by Titanium, so you have these filters in here, and then there's fans right at the top of this cabinet, so that if it ever gets really hot in here, the fans at the top start and then pull air over it, which makes it more efficient for everything like the fridge and your inverter and everything. Keeping that stuff cool is essential. So in here is the full Enerdrive system. So we have our DC-DC charger, a solar charger, and then our AC-DC charger as well if we ever wish to plug into power. So up here we have our inverter as well, which is a 2600 watt. So when you turn the button on inside, every power point becomes live with the inverter, and also runs our aircon. So we can actually run our aircon off the two 200 amp hour Enerdrive batteries for a fair while. I think it's got about 600 watts of solar on the roof, so when there's solar coming in, it's pretty much just infinity aircon, which is a new thing for us, so we'll be testing that out. So obviously we usually run iTech World in all of our stuff, and we had it in our last van and really loved it. But this van, as you know, is a 2023. It was already built, it had already been to shows, people have walked through it, it's been in photo shoots and stuff like that. So we weren't able to choose what we wanted, but really excited to give all the accessories in this van a go and test everything out, and you know, give you guys honest reviews on what it's like. We still will be using our iTech World stuff in our car. It's full of it, our blankets and our jump starter and stuff like that. Before we get too far, I thought I'd talk about the walls. The frame of this is an aluminium frame, and then they're all pop riveted together, so there's no welding or anything. Sorry, it's like an aircraft grade pop rivet. It makes them incredibly tough and incredibly durable, gives them that flex they need. And then you have like a fiberglass panel on it. With this van, it's had the extra insulation put in it, so it's like a blue sort of foam that goes in between. Don't ask me what it is, but it's like a dense foam that sort of helps obviously with heat and sound and stuff like that. So it's basically like a big fridge in there. It's fantastic, really like holds heat in and holds it out as well. So we have another light up the top here, windows all around as we can see. Here we have our shore power inlet, and then as well our circuit breaker sort of bit, fuse, whatever you want to call it, that sort of section. There's so much solar and battery power in this that I don't ever really plan on plugging in, but maybe one day. Also, there's this little bit here where you plug your antenna for your TV in if the caravan park has a spot. As with everything else in this van, everything looks wicked. Even the Illuma writing on here matches the color of our van, so that's really on point. In here we have just another bit of storage. Now this is under our bed. There is an extra bit on the other side of the wall in here that you can access underneath the bed. In here we're just keeping stuff like Lil's gym things, her weights. Yes, we're still carrying weights around, and I guess I've got my tackle box and my car wash stuff. So I have Maguire's bucket for the car and a Maguire's bucket for the van. I use this special like caravan stuff for our caravan now to protect it. The Maguire's stuff has always protected our car, so I'm obviously going to use the same on our van. Maybe in the future I'll do like a segment of me cleaning the van and car, because that's actually my favorite pastime. Cleaning stuff is very therapeutic for me, and I love to clean the car and caravan. And maybe I'll give you a few tips actually. Not that you need it. Coming up here to the front is the other side of the tunnel boot. So we saw that this is where the kitchen's held. We are putting our swag in here at the moment because I have no better spot for it. I've pulled it out so you guys can see in. Not much in here, just the brake safe system. There's lights either side of the tunnel boot. Really durable checker plate aluminium through here, so that's great because I've got the max tracks and things like that in there, and Lil's big flippers that don't fit anywhere else. But yeah, really big usable space. Actually, what I've got here, I really like these seals. They just seem to sort of like squeeze in, like you've really got to push it in. So I'm looking forward to hitting some dirt roads and stuff and seeing how they work. I reckon they'll work mint. This is the other side of the toolbox. I'm keeping like the boat stuff in here. I know this isn't fuel storage, but I have got my empty boat tank up here, and then like 2-stroke oil and all that kind of stuff in here, my ropes and stuff. And then I've got a mat, boat wheels, fire pit and stuff in there. I'm sort of keeping this box as like a bit of a dirty area. I hope it doesn't get too dirty, but I'd rather keep that stuff in there than in the caravan. All right, we'll talk about the roof now. As you can see up the top here, there's 3 big 200-watt solar panels, bringing in loads and loads of power. We've got the Dometic air conditioner through the middle, and then there's 2 hatches, one at the rear which is the shower, and then you've got a big skylight in the middle. And then also there's a TV antenna, and then a dust suppression or dust reduction system with a big fan and filter on it. And then there's also, just on that left hand side, there's another cowling which is the vents for the top of the power system. So like I said before, when it gets hot, that's where it pushes the air through. Very neat and tidy up on the roof for a caravan, and pretty much every little bit of real estate has been used on this thing. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it for the outside. I'm sure that I've missed a heap of things. If you guys want to know anything, just comment down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and I think that this is the best small caravan in Australia. I know that might upset some people, but that's what I believe. It is our dream caravan. It's fantastic. We're beside ourselves having it. But I'll just hand the spotlight over to Lil, and she's going to take you through everything inside, so stay tuned.
Okay, it's my turn. I'm going to take you inside the caravan. I'm going to show you everything there is to know about our 15-foot titanium off-road caravan. It's like a palace in there. Honestly, I can't believe that it's ours. I'm so incredibly grateful. But let's head right on in. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to tell you all about the door. So the door is just an Aussie Traveller door. They're on so many caravans, so you're probably already across it. But essentially, you just open it up by moving it to the side, or if you're going to put your dust suppression fan on, or you're going to drive anywhere really, you can lock it in and it will suction in so that you don't get any dust inside the caravan. We're going to open it up, and it's got 2 sections. You can either have it as just a fly screen, or you can have it as a normal door. And then I love how Titanium have got 2 options. So you can either open the door so it's just straight out, or if you want to, you can have it so it's all the way open. The only thing is, when you've got it on this setting, you can't open that window. So that's why they've given you the 2 options, which I love. When you shut it, you literally just clip it in, and it's back to 1 door. Anyway, let's head inside. Okay, now we're inside the caravan. We are going to start, I suppose, right at the front. So we've got just a little step on the way in. We've thrown our muck mat in there, which we actually have chopped off because it was a little bit big for the one that we've got. You can buy muck mats that fit in that spot, but we've just done a Lil and Jake job of it and chopped it up. On the left hand side of the door, we have got 2 light switches. These light switches are so cool because they're actually not attached to the wall. They're all remote controlled, so they've just got a battery in them like you would a TV remote. So it does mean that they do die, but you just change the battery out and you're good to go. But the bottom 3 turn on all of the lights inside, and then the top 6 are all to the exterior of the caravan. That's pretty fun. We have got, for the first time, a little privacy screen or like a curtain on our door. On our last caravan we didn't have that. We used to put up these 2 hooks and then we used to throw our towel across the door. So it's really nice to be able to have privacy literally in every corner of our caravan. Coming in on the right hand side now, we have got our fire extinguisher, and we've also got our aircon remote control. So it's a Dometic aircon. It's right in the middle of the caravan and it runs off the batteries, which is amazing. You can either have it run off the batteries, or if you're plugged in shore power, you can also have it run off that. But we're excited because it means that it might give us the option to bring our dog along for some of our trips. So we'll be able to keep her inside for an hour or 2, have the aircon going and not have to worry about it being too hot inside. So that's a real bonus for us. So in this top hand corner here, we have got a spot where we can put our TV in. So we can plug it in and we can have the antenna running, or we can just hook up and we can have our Starlink going and we can have Netflix on or YouTube, whatever we want to be watching. So that just hooks in there and it sits. But usually whenever we are driving, we keep it in this navigator bag, which we had in our last caravan, and honestly, it's been really good. So I recommend those bags to everybody that asks. But yeah, moving to the back of the caravan, we have got our dust reduction fan on the roof. So that is turned on by this switch here. It's pretty bloody loud. So what that does is it just sucks heap of air in the caravan and then it fully seals everything so no dust can ever get inside the van, which is amazing because we actually had one in our last caravan, but it honestly, there was just too many holes and leaks and stuff that it just, you saw the dust problems that we had. We have got cupboards all the way around. We are like chock-a-block full of storage in this caravan. So we've got a full-on cupboard here. We've got another drawer slide down the bottom, which are my 2 cupboards. And then over the top, we've got 3 cupboards that run all the way along. And that end cupboard down here actually goes all the way to the wall. So you can pop things all the way around the corner. So the back wall is just chock-a-block full of storage. And then they're all on gas struts, which is epic. It means that we don't have to worry about the cabinets falling down on us when we're inside the cupboards. And then we've got one along the side here as well, which is Jake's shorts and pants and tops. So staying at the bed, we are chock-a-block full of power ports. It is not even funny. We have got 4 240 volt plugs, and then below that we've each got 2 12 volt plugs. One is a USB-C plug and then one is just a normal USB plug. And then below that we've also got our heater. So we have got a diesel heater in this caravan and it comes out of this little black port down the bottom. We can have that running as long as we've got diesel in the front of the caravan. So it's all controlled just by that little panel there, which is really cool because it means we don't have to leave the bed in the mornings if we're feeling particularly cold and we want to throw the heater on. Same on the other side, like I said, the 12 volt plugs and then the 240 volt plugs. And then above that, you'll see that we've got 4 of these little black lights and they are so handy. They move around, but they also have a blue light option, a white light option, and then if you hold the button down, they also dim. So if you're feeling like maybe you want to have a little bit of a moody time in the caravan, I don't know, you can just dim it and it's not as bright as what all of the other lights are. And then on the bottom of all of these black lights, it's also got a USB port as well. So we've got 4 USB ports alone in the bed area. and then 2 extra USB-C ports. Like, there's so many ports, it's not even funny. And then staying here, we've got 2 big pockets. So you can put books, I suppose. I could put my Kindle in there. So literally everything has been thought of in this caravan. It is crazy. The bed is a queen bed. It does have like a little cut off on the corner just because that's how a lot of caravans are set out when they've got their east to west bed. But to be honest, it saves so much space for us having the east to west bed. A lot of people say, I can't believe you got the east to west bed. It's so hard to make the bed in the mornings. Honestly, it takes like no extra time at all. Jake always comes to bed later than I do. So we really have no troubles with having to crawl over each other. I suppose we're lucky in that respect. Mattress is nice. It's like a spring mattress. I think we're going to put either a topper on that or maybe get a new one. I'm not really sure yet. We definitely need to get new sheets. We're running the same sheets that we've been running for 16 months. I mean, they're amazing, but they have got a couple of marks that you can't really see at the moment. But if you've got any recommendations for some nice bed sheets, then we're in the market. Anyway, heading to the roof of the bed, we have got one Sirocco fan, a 12-volt fan, so you can run it pretty much all the time, draws next to no power. And then just behind the Sirocco fan, we have got a Fusion speaker. So we've got 2 of those in the caravan. I'll show you how that all works in a moment. And then if we go under the bed, we have got a compartment which also is a huge storage area. We pretty much have just got jumpers and wine under there at the moment. But so that's where Jake was saying that there's also more storage underneath that tunnel. So that's where all my workout gear is there. And then over here, we've got that extra space. And then under the bed, we've got 2 more drawers. This is just full of Jake's stuff and then full of more of my stuff. So that's really nice to have down there. But then moving right down to the ground, we've got this fake wood lino, and it is the most realistic stuff I've ever seen in a caravan. Like, it genuinely looks like real wood. But having already cleaned the floor once, just because I like to give everything a quick once over, it cleans up so well and is so easy to keep looking nice. And I feel like it almost camouflages some of that dirt and stuff that you may get in a caravan, because I know that our last floor used to show every little bit of dust and every little bit of hair and every little bit of dirt. So that's been really, really nice to have something that disguises a little bit of the dirty that comes with living in a caravan. Anyway, moving on to the lounge. We have got a table that is functional. It is amazing. It means that we can get so much more done in the caravan without being like hunched in the corner or being like folded up on the bed. The table is epic. Honestly, if you've not seen one of these tables before, you're missing out. So this table is on like a pivot sliding system thing. So you just pull the lever and you can pretty much have it however you want. So you can have it here, you can have it sideways, you can have it all the way down on the bed. And then if you've got maybe a special pet friend over, or you've got another friend over, you want to have, I don't know, a movie night in the caravan, you can turn this into like a little bit of a couch bed situation. So all you do is you press on that bottom and then push the table down. Oh, I suppose if you're stronger than me, you probably, there we go, we're locked in. So we have got another one of these cushions, and you can sit it right on here and you've got like a recliner situation. If we've got friends over, that'll be really cool. And then you just press the button. Oh, it's like hydraulic, thank God. Thought it was gonna punch me in the face. Anyway, love that table more than life itself. And then above the couch, we have got t-shirts. Jake's t-shirts are in there. Getting to like the most important part of the whole caravan, we have got our control panel. I imagine just like the sound playing over that, because that's just how it feels when I open it up. Let's get into it. I hope I don't butcher this. I'm sure Jake will tell me what's right and what's wrong, but I'm going to try my best. So the top left hand corner is our hot water switch. So we used to have to go outside take the cover off our hot water and then turn it on. But in here, you literally just flick it on. The gas is already on. We've got a 25 litre hot water unit area. And then right next to it is the water pump. So if we wanted to, for some reason, turn the water pump off on its own, then that's something that we can do as well. Below that, we've got all of our fuses for the Caravan. And then more fuses over here on the right hand side there for all of our solar on the roof. We've then got our power meter, so we can see like what percentage of power in our batteries we've got left. And we can also see how much we're drawing at any particular time as well. Below this, we have got our inverter control panel, so we just can turn that off and on there. That will power our washing machine and our aircon. All of our 240 volt plugs. So if you want to put in a hair straightener or an air fryer or whatever you've got, then that'll run all of those. We've also got our water meter, a water meter that works, because our last one did not work. The gauges just kept flickering all the time, but these are spot on. And then below that, we have got our sound system. So that is the 2 speakers that we've got in the Caravan. So we can connect via Bluetooth, and then we can also listen to the radio through those. So that is really cool. We've actually not used it except for the day that we picked it up. So maybe we need to start pumping some more beats. I don't know. And then on the right hand side, we have got our electric hot water. So whenever we're plugged into the shore power, then we can switch that on and that'll give us hot water all the time. So that means showers for days. But yeah, that's our power system. So I actually forgot to talk about this bottom switch. So the top one is the dust reduction fan, but the bottom one is a full power out for everything in the Caravan except for the fridge. So the inverter, all of the lights, the hot water, everything gets turned off with that switch, which is awesome because it means that you're never going to have something bang on your hot water and then you end up getting to camp and you're fully out of water because your tanks have just been drained because you've left a tap on or something like that happening. So that is like a sure way to make sure that nothing goes wrong, nothing gets bounced around and knocked while you're driving down the road. So now to the windows. All throughout the Caravan, we have got windows that have got snap close fly screens, and I've just let a bloody fly in now. Pulling them down means you've got the fly screen. Pulling them up means you've got an insulated block out, which is really cool. And with the windows, you've got a couple of different levels. So you can either have it so that the windows are just slightly open. So that gives you about a gap of this much. Otherwise, there's heaps of different levels that you can have the window open. So you can just hear the click and then you just move it to as far as the click is. And then on the roof in the kitchen, we have got a light, and that one is actually just turned on here. It's either a blue light or a white light. And then we've got our stovetops fan. So you can have the fan running and you can also have the light on as well. So we're not short of lights over here. In the top left hand corner, we've got a stove switch. So we've actually got one of the stove tops, which I'll show you now even, that is electric. So that'll turn on the back corner, or it'll allow the electricity to come through to that stove top. But the other 3 are all run by gas. So we've got 3 gas burners there. We've also got a grill, which I don't know how often we'll use that, but we've got a grill that we can use down there. Heading over to the sink, we have got the most beautiful gold tapware and cupboard latches. The tap is epic because it's already got a water filter built into the tap. So that's just a charcoal filter that's kept underneath the sink here, and you can just replace that as you wish. So that's the water filtered water, and then we've also just got normal tap water as well, so hot and cold on that side. Coming underneath the sink, we've got just heaps of storage space. We've put a couple of the Fusion Lock storage caddies, so I just put different hand washers and sprays in there, and then I've also added a couple of little hooks that I just find useful for hanging up cloths. We also bought this bin the other day from Kmart, which has been a game changer. It was $6, such a bargain. All of the latches have two options, so you can either have them locked in, which will mean that the door is never coming open while you're driving down the road, or while we're pulled up somewhere, we always just have them open just because it's really easy to open them that way. And then down the bottom, another big storage space. This is just like our junk drawer. It's got all of our camera gear in it. It's got everything you could ever want, all of our hard drives, just odd bits. I can't even tell you what's in there. And then coming over to the side, we've got our utensil drawer. So this actually came with the utensil divider, which is super handy. So we didn't need to buy one that was to be fitted in here. So that's really cool. And then below that, we've just got all of our pots and pans, plates, containers, Yetis, cups, chopping boards. We don't need much. We're only 2 people. So it pretty much means we've got 2 of everything. It doesn't need that much space. Down the bottom, there is like this little secret compartment, which I'll show you now. So it's got 2 of those gold latches, and it literally just pulls down, and I've left just like extra cloths down there, but there's so much extra space that we can use. I don't know what for. Maybe you've got some ideas of things that I could put down here, but super handy. This rug is also from our last caravan. It's just from Adair's. I love it. I think it makes it look a little bit homey. But yeah, I think that is the main space. Actually, one more thing. On the roof, we have got our sunroof. I can't believe I'm saying that we have a sunroof. Like, honestly, that's a joke. It's either got the fly screen or it's got the full blackout. So we can have it open all the way like we do now. Otherwise, we can just pull it down, lock it in, for driving. I forgot to look up. We've actually got 2 more of these cabinets up here, and they are just chock-a-block full of food at the moment. I think I need to think of some kind of storage way that I can make this just a better used space, because at the moment it's really hard for me to see what food we've got. So I don't know, if you've got any ideas for me, let me know, because I really need to work out what I'm going to do in there. So heading back over to the couch, I completely forgot to show you underneath it. So if I just pull this out, it's got a whole storage compartment underneath. So we've got 2 of our Enerdrive batteries under there, and then we've also got just a heap of games. We're like big game goers, so Ticket to Ride's under there, Catan under there. Have you ever played Trouble? We've got Trouble. Bought it at the op shop. That's a bit of a throwback, isn't it? And then this is where the compressor lives as well. So that's how we are able to move the caravan up and down for leveling. So that's the compressor. So we've really leveled up from our 95 litre Dometic chest fridge. We have got a 220 litre upright fridge. It has changed our lives. So we've got a freezer up the top and a fridge down the bottom. It's also got like fruit and veg section at the very bottom as well. Honestly, being able to have an upright fridge has been amazing, because I just feel like in the chest fridges, sometimes you miss things and then you end up forgetting that you've got them. So to be able to see everything that you've got is unreal. And then coming down to the ground, we've got another compartment which has got a really cool laser cutout wolf design on the front. So this is where our water pump lives. So we've got 2 tanks, which we told you about before. So you can individually turn them off and on down here. So if we usually just use through one tank, and then we get to the end of that, and then we will turn the other one on. Okay, it's bathroom time. This is like double the size of our last bathroom. We used to have a combined toilet shower, and now obviously we've got separate toilet shower, and we have a sink, and we have cupboard space. It's phenomenal. On the left hand side as you walk in, we have got a Thetford cassette toilet. Not much you need to say about that, I don't think. The toilet moves. But we have got 2 hooks for our towels, which are also gold, which is a really nice touch. We've got 2 elastic bands down the end, which you can secure for when you're driving. So we always make sure that they're locked in so that the door doesn't go sliding around while we're driving along the road. There's also a gold toilet roll holder, which is really nice. And then we've got like a little window, which is perfect for just letting a little bit of air flow in if that needed to be the case. My favorite thing in the whole caravan is this. This is our washing machine. It is a 3 kilo NCE washing machine. It does use quite a lot of water, so they have 2 different cycles that we usually use. There's a heavy, which I haven't done yet, but there's a 15-minute quick cycle, and that apparently uses about 10 liters of water. I haven't tested it, but that's about how much they reckon. And then there is a 45-minute load, which we reckon uses about 25 liters, just based on how much grey water there was left when we did the cycle. That has been unreal. I reckon it's done 20 loads in the last week. It's been so good. Underneath the washing machine, we've got 2 compartments. One which I use for all of our dirty washing, so it means that we don't have to have a laundry basket, which is really nice because they take up heaps of space. And then just below that, I've just got all of our toilet rolls, but there's heaps of storage space behind there, so either we could put more toilet rolls there or something else, I don't know. Got our sink. Obviously it's got the gold tap and then the gold plug. It is ceramic, so it is a little bit heavy. We've got mirrors everywhere. We didn't have any mirrors in the last caravan, and now we've got these 2 ginormous mirrors at the back, which also double as cupboard space. So I thought maybe that things would move around a lot in there when we're on the road, but honestly I've not had any trouble so far, so that's really cool. And then we've got one other mirror which is attached to the shower door, so that's a full length mirror. And then we've got 2 240 plugs and our light switch as well up here, so that's one of those remote controlled ones, so you can put it in the drawer if you like. And then we've got 3 cupboards here, so were just empty cupboards, and we've just got all of our toiletry stuff, miscellaneous stuff down the bottom, like I've got some books and the hair straightener and blow dryer and stuff like that. So that's really nice. And then underneath the sink, we've got another huge storage compartment. I've also put another one of those fusion lock caddies as well in there, but it's just got like our laundry stuff, our toilet stuff, everything that you need. And the last part of our caravan is the shower. It's ginormous. It's got gold tapware. It's really the shower of our dreams. Yeah, shower head has got 3 different settings. So it's got a rain setting, an active setting, and a jet setting. You can move the shower head up and down along that rail. It's got the tap there, and then on the bottom it's got a really cool drain which moves out really easily, so you don't want to obviously get things like hair and stuff getting stuck down there, so I love how easy that is. It's also got 2 little storage compartments. Obviously we're not going to leave anything in there while we're driving because they'll just fall down. Really handy for if you're somewhere for a couple of days and you just want to leave all of your toiletry stuff in here. And then on the roof we have got a light and obviously our fan that can go either in, blow air in, or it can suck air out depending on what you want it to be doing. So there you have it, a full rundown of our Titanium Unbound 15-foot caravan.
Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Hey, we are absolutely in love with this thing. We're beside ourselves, so happy. We feel like changed people. We're different people, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. But as always, make sure you like and subscribe so we can give you heaps more epic content. We're going to take this bad boy off-road.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can't wait to bring you guys along. Hopefully there's no carnage.
Yeah, hopefully.
So we will see you next Saturday.
So guys, don't forget, next Saturday, 8 AM, we'll be right here on YouTube. So click the bell so you know when we're posting. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay. That went right down. Oh, I've had that for lunch. Okay, stop that.